Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Anshu coming back with the, today's Hindu analysis of 18th Feb 2025. So every day I just posted the Hindu analysis with in a continuity manner. So if you are new to this channel, must go and check out the Hindu analysis editorials. I am just uploading it from January 1. And if you new to the channel, must visit, give your valuable feedback. It helped me lot for my improvement. Although as a very underconfident person, I YouTube has given me this platform to give a fluency and become a confident person. And it's been more than 1 month and more that I am continuing this series. So the Hindu editorial and this series will be continue. So what we're going to cover, let's have a recap and stay tuned till the last. The editorial is going to be very interesting. So let's start this with the recap. So the front page covering about the places of worship case put off the government yet to file response. Suspense on PM led the panel meet to pick CC. Second one is covering about the will the build permanent holding areas up to 60 heavy rush station. Center is likely to deposit insurance limit from 5 lakh. Third news is covering about the most important and everywhere the questions is asked, and again it is coming news about the Aravali Safari Park project. Fourth one is about the editorial that is covering the light in the pollution burden of thermal power states. Next editorial is about Georgia and the resurrections of color revolutions. The opinion column here, the Trump and the new gilded age for billionaire. And Mila and Mealy. Seventh one is how did the DDoS attack the cripple Kaveri 2.0. Eighth one is about the state news. Odisha University evicts a 500 Nepal students after the protest on campus. Ninth news is about the 2 flights with 33 deportees land at Ahmedabad airport. To boost investment, Kerala government's plan to grant industry status to tourism sector. So these are we are going to cover. So all the editorials today are interesting. Stay tuned till the last, and it will be worth of your time. So let's start with the suspense on the PM led panel meet to pick CC. So it's about the name not revealed. The Congress says Rahul left the discussion after submitting his objection in writing, and the party wants to postpone process till the SC hears the challenges against new law to appoint the chief election commissioners. So basically this is the 3-member committee that is headed by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on a Monday to pick the new chief election commission. So this committee consists 1 PM. Let me just. So one is PM. Sorry. So it's one is PM. Second is the LOP, leader of opposition, and third is the Chief Justice of India. Firstly, when it was formed, it was a 1-member committee. Then again it formed the 3-member. Again it is dissolved into the 1-member committee. Then again it's become a permanent body in 1993, and it's there is a appointment of new chief election commissioner. So the Prime Minister headed the committee. Union Minister Amit Shah, leader opposition Rahul Gandhi were in the member. So the CC has selected a name sent to President for its approval. So, what is the partition mechanism is that Congress sources, however, said Mr. Gandhi left the meeting, which was held in Prime Minister's official residence, submitting his objections in writing. So, there is a constituted created a partition and new neutral mechanism for the election commission. So, the Supreme Court judgment on March 2, where the Constitution Bench of Supreme Court Anup Parnwal versus Union of India, his appointment by committee comprises this. So that's for all in this news. It will continue on page 10. If there is a more descriptions about this. Next one is about the place of worship case to put off, government yet to file response. So the places of worship case of, government yet to file response. So this is under this Worship Act Special Provision 1991, a law that protect the identity and the character of religious sites since independence days. Even a petitioner and intervener raised the multi-religious viewpoints and legal question before the court. So there was a cases that was held that firstly there is a Hindu religious temple, and after the demolition of it, then the masjid is built, and somewhere the places like the recent there was a news about the Sambals in UP, where there is a Hindu religious temple. After that, masjid is made backside of the. So there the original. So many people have filed petitions regarding the to having their original existence of what was it is either a temple or mosque before the independence. So it was headed by the Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna, and the court's complaint is that petitions being filed in the case, it dismisses the writ petitions, giving the petitioner to file applications which is raised on new legal grounds. So there's a political parties, AM Sanghvi, Dushyant, PB Williamson, Raju Ramsar, these are names here, which include a minority organization, political parties, and imitant individual. Center is represented by Solicitor General and Advocate Kanu Agrawal. So moving to the next article. With will build a permanent holding areas up to 60 heavy rush station. So the incident that happened New Delhi railway station, where the 18 people were died due to the confusions of the train timing, and that forms a railway committee for further the inquiry of these cases. And up to the point, even after this incident, the up to 2.9 crore passengers have been piled comb since. So 2.9 crore passengers have piled comb since the beginning of Mela by trains. On even on 16 Feb, 18.48 lakh passengers were ferried to the Kumbh in 388 trains till 6 pm, and over 14 lakh passengers were transported in 266 trains. The Kumbh rush will continue to swell till February 26. So the Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav told like the 60 railway station including the NDLS across the India had handled a heavy crowd, has been identified at the permanent holding areas to be built for extra passenger, and most passengers travel to the Kumbh Mela arrive at a radius of 300 Prayagraj stations, where there is a heavy accumulation of crowds in New Delhi, Patna, Ara, Danapur, Buxar have been chosen. Said feedback will be taken here. And he also clarified the timing of stampede was 8:49. There's a 20 to 25 passengers, few of them carrying heavy loads on their heads, started walking platform where do we arise to catch recently and announced the Prayagraj special train. Both trains were expected at almost same time. So here is the subterranean transit, the worker in under construction tunnel of Mahatma Gandhi Road metro station, upcoming pink line of Bangalore, where it is formation is held here, Bangalore. Metro network station on Monday, and this is the interchange transit point between pink purple lines. So here is the center is likely to raise a deposit insurance limit up to 5 lakh. The financial services budget presses briefing here, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman along with secretaries on various departments were presented. So 122 crore over a year was remanded in the head of the accounts Hitesh Mehta have been remanded in the police custody for 5 days on 16th Feb. So moving to the next is about the important one is Aravali Range, Aravali Safari project. So it was recently the project was implemented few year back ago also in the news, and again this scheme, why it is in so much news and what is important for this. So the Aravali Range basically covers the three areas like Gujarat, Rajasthan, and some part of Delhi also covering. I'm forgot to add the map here. So the Haryana government, this project cost 3858 hectare of the Aravali Safari Park, which is crossing from Gurugram and Nu, which was the poll promises of ruling Bharatiya Janata Party last year, is to invest the world largest safari park. However, there is a faced steep opposition since it was mooted. So what is the project here? So the basically the Aravali Safari Park will have animal cages, guest house, hotels, restaurants, auditorium, and animal hospitals, children parks, botanical gardens, and open theater, eateries. So the project now has transferred to the forest department expert, and over a 3858 hectare has been proposed. So the tender is the 2574 will be spread across, and this will cover like the Gurugram, and in Gurugram it will cover 11 villages, and in Nu it will cover remaining 1248 villages. Across its 7 villages and 11 villages. So these are the hectare 1248 in Nu and 2574. Total it is 3858 hectare will be covered. So there is opposition because the Aravali, the hills in the southern district of Gurugram and Nu are a part of Aravali, an oldest mountain range in the world, and it runs diagonally extending from the Rajasthan, Champaner in Gujarat, and southwest in near Delhi, northeast for about 690 km it is covering here. And it is ecologically significant and is combat the desertifications and the checking the spread of Rajasthan. Highly fractured, weird, and quality rocks are allowing to spectrum wildlife and plant species. So group of 37 retired animal Indian Forest Services officer have written a letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for seeking the scrap of project, arguing that the project aims to simply increase the tourist footfall and not conserve the mountain range. The primary purpose of intervention in eco-sensitive areas should be conservation and restoration and not the destruction. So basically the construction will disturb the aquifers of the Aravali Hills and are the critical reserves. So the Gurugram and Nu are the underground lay. The two district has been categorized central groundwater board, and additionally the location of project is fall under the category of forest. And Conservation Act 1980 besides the Haryana has very low forest cover is 3.6%. Its forest cover. So approximately 80,000 of hectare of Aravali in Haryana projected under various law, and the most widespread protection comes from Punjab Land Preservation Act. It's PPL in 1990, and the similarly Tamil Nadu Godavarman Tripul judgment is extended legal protections of the remaining Aravali areas and conservation zones. So these are the 37 retired officers, Forest Office IFS, centered up how it is just damaging the environment and just for the ecology tourism promotion. It is just invading the environment, aquifers, disturbing all the ecological balances. So moving to the next is about how to lighten the pollution burden of thermal power state. So it is the first updated nationally determined contribution. Just wait a minute. Yeah. So there is a Contribution of Paris Agreement to the United Nations Framework Conventions on Climate Change (UNFC) in August 2022, India has committed to first adopting a development of second reducing the emission intensity of GDP by 45% by 2030 from the 2005 level. Third, achieving about 50% cumulative electric power installed capacity from non-fossil fuel based energy resources by 2030. So along with the 6 commitments, currently thermal power has a dominant share in India's electricity basket. Under the new regime, thermal power will have 50% share. So what is the agent of emission here? The power producing states bear the burden of all this pollution to provide electricity to consuming state. So who should pay for pollution burdens on thermal power plants? And this article looks at thermal power productions under the central sector and recommending the compensation mechanism for thermal producing states. So India has total installed, just remember the data, it can be not remembering the data, so just have a look of the 4, 5, 6, 7 megawatt in which central sector provide 23, it's a 22.9% share, it's central share, and state sector share is 23.7%. So the total electricity generation capacity of power plant is already mentioned. So private sector power plant 89 megawatts, and with the state sector 32%, it's 32%, and the central sector has capacity 31%. So according to the Ministry of Coal and Government, the total reserve of coal of India is 378.21 billion tons, which Odisha alone accounts for 94.2 billion. On 52, India around 73.8, in which 1.48% unit of electricity are generated from coal, oil and natural gas respectively. So according to the Central Electricity Authority, Maharashtra has the highest non-renewable electricity generation capacity. It's about 31.510 megawatt, followed by Uttar Pradesh. So these are the states that producing the highest electricity using the non-renewable electricity generation capacity. First is Maharashtra, second is UP, Gujarat, it's UP, third is Gujarat, Rajasthan has highest renewable electricity. Rajasthan is termed in highest in renewable electricity generation capacity in India. So despite the highest electricity generation capacity, state consume more than generation. So what is produced is more than their consumption. So thermal power NPTC also shows state producing maximum electricity do not consume most, like Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Chhattisgarh only consume 40%, 38%, 29% respectively. And in NTPC, the Gujarat is biggest consumer of NTPC produced electricity. Yes, National Thermal Power Corporation, the Gujarat is highest biggest consumer, and Gujarat and Maharashtra purchase electricity from different states from what produced by the central sector and other sector also. So here the data from CEE, pollution burden compared to consuming state. Data from the Tripura has highest 96.96% share of thermal power of total electricity generation capacity, followed by 95.7%. That's Tripura. Bihar, it's 95.57%, Chhattisgarh 94, Jharkhand 92, Delhi 87, West Bengal 87.2, Uttar Pradesh 81. Not all electricity generated in state is being utilized inside the state. Bihar showed 1659.2 megawatt electricity in 23. Niti Aayog data, so Chhattisgarh is the highest net seller of electricity among. Chhattisgarh is the highest net seller of electricity, followed by Madhya Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, Odisha, where the central sector produces more thermal electricity and sells to other. So Gujarat is the highest importer of electricity. Here mentioned. No compensation, like India and electricity regulatory structure do not compensate the state that generate electricity from central sector and thermal power plant. Therefore, the net exporting states of central sector produces bear the burden of pollution. Net importing state enjoy mainly producing coal rich states, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and substantially the consumption remains substantially lower than economically better off state. Thus, the poor states face a new form of resources curse. So electricity is a concurrent subject, entry 38. Just remember, electricity comes in concurrent subject of entry 38 of list 3 constitution of 7th schedule. 7th schedule, in which there is a, how many subjects comes there, in which out of them electricity is also one subject that comes in the 7th schedule. So the Ministry of Power issued a directive that prohibits the state governments and the GST distribution utilities by GST is exempt of formulation to pursue electricity produced within the state internalize all the benefits and costs. So last 3 finance commission have states under the environmental and climate change concern, and this has been done through the grants and horizontal devolution criteria. The 16th finance commission seriously considered India's international climate fiscal roadmap to achieve the goals. So moving to the next article, it's about the Georgia and resurrections of color revolutions. So with the dawn of 21st century Soviet, I will discuss this article tomorrow, because actually I have not studied this article myself, so I will add it tomorrow article. 6 is about the Trump and the new guided age of billionaires. So it's how the Donald Trump first administration, I think I have also not studied this article, but I can present here, no worries. So the Democratic Party is 0.1% of the population and has over the political and economic decision display tendencies of an oligarchy. The society shows the top 1% already controls 31% wealth. Oligarchy basically when one state dominates everything and try to just have a dominant over other countries. So super wealthy in a democracy often influence the public policy indirectly by lobbying the sponsoring other candidates. The wealthiest families contribute around 2 billion 2024 in US elections, but when the ultra rich become a direct part of administration, it gives a political power is different magnitude. For example, the Elon Musk, the richest person in the world, contributing 250 billion to the Trump campaign. And the Department of Government Efficiency Research establishes a negative relationship between political connectively billionaire wealth democracy. So what is the impact of the people? So if any billionaire supported that, so it was a disadvantage to the common peoples. They will just afflict the billionaires, and they will just think about their own profits. The common peoples don't get any benefit. They get the disadvantages they are facing. The problem is in the potential conflict of interest, such as American ethics and law, financial disclosures, and the Commerce Secrecy is the CEO of financial services firm EI. CryptoZar is a former senior executive of a PayPal. So there is a fundamental disjuncture between public market and interest, researcher ask. So who wants 40 millions per day able to appreciate how important. So the study shows here that the significant difference between the views on top 1% US wealth holders public on taxation. There is 87% of the general signatory, 35% and top 1% thinkers think so. Mr. Trump is the only manifestation of socio-economic changes heralded since the economic and inauguration of neoliberal with unbridled market power. So the overproduction of a wealthy people. Its overproduction of wealthy people increases the number of wealthy seeking economic policies from 1945 to 73. So the bipartisan issues here is the implosion and working classes of the wealth concentration, government support parties. The 14 billionaires donated a Trump campaign and 21 did to the Harris campaign. If Trump's first cabinet worth is 6.2 billion, Barack Obama's second cabinet was 2.8 billion. If corporate profits touch the 2 billion trillion, hovering, they skyrocket to the 3.7 trillion under the Joe Biden. So majority of the working classes voted for Trump, while the majority of the college graduates voted for Mr. Harris. So what Trump has managed to do ironically is tap into the anger of economically disposed, the anger that combined the racial hatred is made to coagulate into fascinating political imaginations, and the system has failed to start looking around for the strong man to vote. And again, he made a pass 40 years by black brown Americans. Homosexual has will be wiped out. So US in 3.5% billionaires have entered the politics, unlike China is 36%. Only 3.5% entered in USA. And China 36%, Russia 21%. Yet the plutocratization of oldest democracy and the world's most powerful nation deleterious implications beyond the source of America. So next is about the Mela and Mili. So how the people safety should be prioritized over the footfall at Mahakumbh. Basically, writer is telling about how there is a more camp its campaign, its advertisement related to the Mahakumbh Mela to grow their economic boost and the tourism population. They show a lot of advertisement campaigns to visit Kumbh, that how it is making very affordable to visit there and just go and travel and experience this 144 years of Mahakumbh. So the government do lot in the campaigning to advertising it, showing the greatest, but according to the peoples were more than they expected, and this led to the many devastations and the tragic incidents that happening in the Kumbh. So there should be there should be that kind of facility should be availed by the government for the protection and safety of the people. Their priority should be their safety concerns and their facilities for ambulance facility, health facility. They are trying to do, but not worth as it expected according to the population. They expected only 40 crores people, but then more than 40 crore is crossing over here. So writer is just telling about the conditions, that how it is just creating tragic incidents, how the additional tickets sold, and how it is creating train injuries, uh, how the different render confused mass of passenger attempt to reach the wrong platforms. The railway has also now said that special trains from Mela will depart one fixed platform station. So there's a clear multilingual communication restricted, ticketing and proactive crowd control that have mitigated the tragedies. Many less prominent gathering places still lack attention, and the plans to increase the footfall at the places of worship are not led to catastrophe, while encouraging the spiritual tourism. The hype around the hosting of 45 crore people at Mahakumbh Mela, absurdly impossible as it sounds, should be toned down so as not to feed the political frenzy. The government must be careful. The cost of fulfilling political aspiration is not paid in the terms of human lives. Basically, writer is telling the failures, how the failures causing the death of so people and tragic incidents at the railway stations and everywhere. So next is about how the DDoS attacked the cripple Kaveri 2.0. So basically, the DDoS attack, it's about the distributed denial of service attack on a Kaveri 2.20 was launched in 2023 to reform the land registration. But what happened after the attack? It's the K. Dayanand, Inspector General of Registration, lodged a complaint of cybercrime police, and cybercrime economics. This narcotics police technology act the misconcern. So the Kaveri 2.0 faced some performances issue during December. And how DDoS attack? So DDoS is a malicious attempt to disturb the normal functioning targeted server service of DOS, which typically involve a single source, and DDoS attacker leverages multiple compromised systems, often infected with malware, to generate the traffic businesses. So what happened to the Kaveri 2.0? Like this 2.0 portal experiences issue in December 24. Fake accounts were created there. Fake accounts created and entries were made into a database using these accounts. Fake entries are using here. The attack involved 62 mail accounts, 62 email accounts originating from 40 IP addresses, highlighting the distributed nature of assault and the traffic observed from citizen side. Registration crippled the portal. So such an attack, how such attacks can be mitigated? So the monitoring tools can help to identify the unusual traffics and take the pre-attemptive limiting control and number of requests can be given time. So what are the other major attacks are also here, like the Elon Musk owned X targeted in 2024 reported a platform experience a massive DDoS attack causes the delays and disruptions, and the US president highlighting the vulnerability of high platform threat. There is also a China based botnet Microsoft won, and this Chinese censorship. So the two GID hub projects has been provided, and China's most popular search engine and other site using Baidu's analytics services. So moving to the next article is, it's about the Odisha University evict the 500 Nepal student after the protest on campus. So this incident held at a KIT University, where the deemed university, where the 30 kilometer from the institute, Cuttack railway station, it left up behind, like the university is closed, signed tie for international student from Nepal, and they are here directly vacate the university campus immensely. So the KIT can initially took a hard stances of student issue and back down the condemned that is reported in a hardness. So investigate students have been visa returned to their respective voluntaries guardian and local guardians and local query about happening there. So there is a police complaint about the suicide of there is a received a police complaint of suicide of Nepali girl student on February, and we rushed to the hostel room, tried to pacify the students who were agitated over incident. So police seized the mobile phone and laptop of the girl, and evidence was collected by the procedures, which were one of the major demand of student preserved in the mortuary. So the racial marks here, they alleged the university's authorities passed the racist remarks during the student protest and not reveal her identity, and one of the authorities amount spent university by student national budget of Nepal, who was dropped at Cuttack station. So ninth one is the two flight deportees with the 33 deportees landed at Ahmedabad airport. So the 33 natives of Gujarat deported from US illegal says landed at Ahmedabad airport on Amritsar on Monday, and the US military aircraft landed at Amritsar late on Sunday, and there is the Ahmedabad 33 immigrants from there, and the Mehnasa, well, 3 immigrants, 2 from Mehsana and 1 from Gandhinagar, and 30 landed another flight. So to boost the investment, Kerala government plan to grant industry status to its tourism sector. Granting industry status will encourage more investment and development in this sector, which contributed to the 10%, and the considered the state economics by providing 5 lakh employment to the people and 20 lakh indirectly. So natural calamities, downslide, repeated natural calamities, and catastrophic landslide in Wayanad to just prevent from them, and rejuvenation packages was announced to pandemic, including infusion of more capital investment and pick up momentum. So that's for all, covering all the today's important news and editorial, and covering all the current affairs. So let's have a summary. Places of worship causes the government to file the response. Suspense on the PM held a panel meet to pick the CSE. Second is about the permanent holding areas up to 60 heavy rust stations, and center likely to raise the deposit of 5 lakh. Third is about the Aravali Safari Park project. Fourth one is covering about the thermal power stations, its pollution burden. Fifth one is about Georgian restaurant. I will cover it on tomorrow editorial. Don't worry about it. Sixth one is Trump and a new gilded age for billionaires, Mela and Meli. Eighth one is about the Odisha University evict 500 Nepal students. Ninth one is about the 2 flights with deportees land at Ahmedabad airport, and to boost the investment. Kerala government plan to grant industry status to tourism sector. So that's for today. Thank you. Thank you for connected till the last the video. If you are till at last video, give me your valuable feedback, and thank you for your giving your valuable time. Tomorrow we'll meet with a new editorial. I'm just so sorry. Tomorrow we'll meet with a new editorial. Till good night. Good night. Take care. And your feedbacks matter. Just give me 1 minute to the feedback for this video. It will help me to improve me a lot. And thank you. If you're new to this channel, give us like, thumbs back, and subscribe to my channel if you will really found important productive contents here. So thank you.